All right, everybody. JC here. Monday evening, about 4:30 in the late afternoon, early evening, here in Kingwood, Texas. About to take a trip to the HEB grocery store and pick up a few things. Maybe do a small handful of actual smart summon sessions, and then go to the family Vietnamese restaurant / boba shop, and then head home. And let's just see how Tesla FSD Supervised version 12.5.4.1 does. All right, let's get going. Coming up here. Come to a complete stop, make a right turn. There we go. Good job, very smooth. Got a little body of water to the right. Let's see how we handle that. Moves over to the left just a little bit, very good. Got a four-way stop coming up here in a couple hundred feet. All right. Got a couple other cars at the intersection, but we were here first, so we go. We'll need to get over into the left lane so that we can get into the left turning lane. There it goes. Oh, my bad. We're not getting into the left turning lane. We are going straight. It has chosen a different path today. So that's one of the interesting things about Tesla navigation, is that it factors in traffic and other things that may be going on, and will generally choose the most efficient route to your destination. So today, I presume that getting to the HEB in Kingwood is more efficient to go straight through North Park versus taking a left onto North Park and going through one of the neighborhoods. And sometimes that can be the case, especially at higher traffic times of the day, which obviously 4:30 in the afternoon, evening time frame on a Monday evening is definitely going to be one of the busier times, with schools just let out about an hour or so ago. Good job. We had a green light there, but we waited until all of the crossing traffic was out of the way. Great job. Good job on the vision-based camera system there to know that even though we had a green light for about a good 3 seconds there, that we should not proceed, because the traffic coming out of the opposite turning lane was still going through, even though they had lost the green light for a good 2 or 3 seconds. But as we all know, especially at high traffic times of the day, that's just going to happen. And so you need to act more human-like and less based simply on code. You know, a system based simply on code may just say, oh, we got the green light, so let's go. But that would have obviously been not a great decision at that point. So the human-based neural net vision-based system picks that up and responds to it just like a human would, which is to wait. Even though you're in every legal right, the collision repair center won't care whatsoever what your legal right was at that intersection. All right, so we're gonna, looks like we're taking a left here at Pine Terrace. Gonna be going into a neighborhood, getting into the median to take a left. We have some opposite direction traffic, so we obviously need to wait on them. Still got some more traffic coming, getting a little further up so that we get a better field of sight. We should have an opening after this truck, this SUV turns, and we do, and we go. Good job. Great job. Progressing on through past the elementary school, or actually, I stand corrected, this is a middle school, not an elementary. Come up to the three-way stop. Come to complete stop, take a left. No other cars at the intersection, so we're good. Good smooth turn. Continuing to make our way past Kingwood Middle School. Come up to another three-way stop. No other cars at the intersection. Come to a complete stop, and we go. Good job. We have a pedestrian to our right with a couple of dogs, as well as a car coming to the left. Reacted to that well. Gave the gentleman and his dogs enough room, but didn't get so far over past the lane marking that we get into the other lane. Now, if we needed to, if there were no other cars coming, we might do that, but did exactly the right thing there. Take a left turn here. Good job. And then we will take a right turn here at the next stop sign. This is a one-way stop. The traffic on this road has the right of way, so we need to, yep, there we go, cautiously make our right. Great job. Looks like we got some road work signs ahead. Right lane closed, be prepared to stop. Well, I don't know what right lane they're talking about. There's only one lane, but we'll see. And end of road work. Well, that wasn't a whole lot of road work. Okay, we got a three-way stop coming up here. Got some vehicles opposite us. He had the right of way. There we go. We progress on through. One of Houston's finest coming through the neighborhood. Yeah, it is definitely taking us deep into a Kingwood neighborhood. But I can definitely say it's been efficient. Taking a right turn here after a complete stop. We got a four-way stop right here. Come to a complete stop, no other cars at the intersection, so we should be good. And we move along. We have a three-way stop that we're coming up to. have some cars in the opposite lane, but nobody at the third part of the intersection. We wait for them to make a turn and then we go. Good job. And then we will come up to Westlake Houston Parkway here in about 100 or so feet and take a right turn on Westlake Houston Parkway. First we'll let that SUV, the GMC Yukon, come out of the parking lot. And we'll get ready. We're staged and ready to do our right turn. Give the Yukon some room. They need to get over the median. We creep up. We look for visibility. Oncoming traffic right now, so we properly wait. Now there's an opening and we take it. Great job. Good smooth turn. Stayed in the right lane. Now we're getting over to the left lane because we'll need to be over here in about a quarter to a half a mile to get over to the HEB. Have a stoplight in the meantime. Great job. Looks like we're gonna have a brand new Wendy's at the corner of Rustic Woods and Westlake Houston Parkway. That's all. There's always been a Wendy's there, but it was a really old one for the longest time, one of those built back in the 70s. And so now it looks like they've got a brand new place. Not sure if it's open yet or not. All right, we are going to be getting into the left turning lane up here once we move up enough, and then from there we'll get into the median to go straight across the opposite side of Westlake Houston Parkway and get into the HEB parking lot. And here we go. All right, we're in the left turning lane. No other cars coming this way, so we can continue to progress into the median behind the Camry. Pick our spot, get in queue. Got quite a bit of traffic coming down Westlake Houston Parkway. Again, it's 4:45 in the evening, so pretty normal. Now this Camry ought to have a good opening, so we're going to move on up, come to a complete stop at the stop sign and wait our turn, creep up a little bit for visibility, and we go. Wow, that was very confident and aggressive. There was an oncoming car about 50 yards away, and on previous versions I think we would have just stayed there, and this one was much more human-like. All right, we are in the HEB parking lot. Gonna progress on through here. I always kind of like to give it a little shot to see what it does in the parking lots. Looks like it's going to turn here, but we're going to wait for HEB customers to come out of the store and get across. We're going to wait for this truck to make a turn, and then we should get right in after them. Right. Given some room to the family there. I would have probably not let my child out right then and there, but hey, to each their own. I'm just gonna let it go around the parking lot a little. Every once in a while, even though these are diagonal parking spots, every once in a while FSD will go ahead and try to park. So let's just see. All right, Let me progress up. We got a stop sign here. We're going to go back up this way. And this is a two-way lane here. The lane we just came down was a one-way. This is a two-way, as you can see by the way the vehicles are parked. Yeah, I'm not so sure it's gonna try to park for us this time. But I'll give it one more shot since we've run out of parking spots on this side anyway. Let it go down the next lane. Alright, let's make sure those kids are okay. Let the lady across, a couple of ladies across. Now it's going to go straight. And it's going to properly pick the next lane it can go down. It should not have gone down that lane we just went past. That's a good decision. So now we're going down another lane. We have some parking spots, so I'm going to give it a little bit of time. If it doesn't, then I'll just go ahead and park it. So let's see if it picks one. Plenty of spots. Nope, not today. All right, let's go ahead and get parked. All right, well, I'm going to run into HEB, and like I said, I may do a small handful of actual smart summon sessions, and then we'll head to the restaurant, to my wife's restaurant. Talk to y'all soon. Bye. All right, well, we are done at HEB getting groceries, and we did a small handful of actual Smart Summon sessions that went really well. So let's head on over to the restaurant / boba shop and get something to eat and just see how the drive goes from there. Let's go. All right. Leaving the edge of the HEB parking lot. Get over a little bit for that oncoming car. Come up to a stop sign. Come to a complete stop. And there we go. Excuse me. Got another stop sign up here. And this is a four-way stop. They had the right of way. They kind of did a rolling stop, but hey, human beings do that. We don't, but they do. All right. Come up here to Kingwood Drive, and we should get over in the right-hand lane to take a right turn. And that's what we're doing. Get up to the stop sign. Oncoming traffic. None coming. Get over, and we will need to stay here in the left lane. That was a good job of getting all the way over to the left lane, because we did have some oncoming traffic coming, but it was a good 100 or so yards away from us, so that was good that we took our opportunity. All right, we're going to get in one of the left turning lanes here. Good job. Got a little bit of light rain coming in now, but not bad at all. Nothing compared to last night. So yeah, we did, oh gosh, I can't even remember now, 3 or 4 actual Smart Summon sessions in the HEB parking lot. I have not looked at all of the footage yet, so I can't say yay or nay what, if any, issues that it may have seen along the way. I had it in eyesight pretty much the whole time, so I did not see any significant issues. I would say a couple of times when it was coming to the end to come get me to my exact location, it did not stop exactly where I wanted it to stop. It stopped in my vicinity, and when I say vicinity, it stopped within 15 to 20 yards of where I was standing, but not exactly where I wanted it to come to. I don't know whether that had to do with traffic around it. One thing that I know for sure is that the road right at the edge of the HEB parking lot is a public road. So most of, obviously the entire parking lot belongs to HEB, and most of the surrounding roads around the parking lot are also private roads, either HEB or other surrounding businesses. But I do know that the road to the very edge, the one we just came out of, is a public road and doesn't belong to any of the businesses, and so it cannot go out on that public road as of yet, with where, not really where the software is, because obviously FSD is able to do it, but from a regulatory standpoint, without having a driver in the seat, it is not allowed to go out on public roads yet. And so on one of those sessions, I was standing right next to that public road, not on it because I knew it couldn't go there, but I was standing pretty close to the edge of it. Okay, so we got an intersection we're going through here. Yeah, needed to slow down to get that person had their butt out in the way. Very good job maneuvering around that. But going back to the actual smart summon sessions, yeah, I think one of them, it stopped a little bit early from where I wanted it to go to. But I think that was a combination of the public road right next to me as well as an oncoming vehicle. So not the smoothest stop. Did exactly what it was supposed to do. It was supposed to come get me from several hundred feet away, but didn't stop exactly where I wanted it to. And then there was one other time where it stopped a bit early as well. And again, it was one of those where I was close to the public road. So I think in the future, until they're able to get over that hurdle, that specific hurdle, because obviously there's 2 or 3 hurdles that they have right now with actual smart summon. One of them's real easy, I think, and a couple of them may take a little bit. One of them, the easy one, is the fact that you have to keep your finger on the summon button the entire time, and you can't let your finger off of it. So as you can imagine, your thumb gets a little bit tired holding on to that button. So it'll be nice when all you got to do is touch the button and then let go, and it'll take care of it from there. And then if you want it to stop, then you push the button again. But where we're at right now, you got to keep your thumb or your finger, whichever, in my case is thumb, on the button. So hopefully they're able to overcome that pretty soon. The second one is the radius. We're still at a 270-foot radius, and as any of you know that go to HEB or Costco or Sam's Club parking lots, those parking lots can be a lot bigger than 270 feet. Especially if you're parked in a situation where your Tesla may actually need to go away from you for a little bit and then come around to come towards you, right? If you're in a one-way parking spot, if the lanes up and down the parking lot are one way, you may be in a situation where it actually needs to go further away from you at first in order to come back to you. And the HEB parking lot definitely has a few of those. So hopefully they're able to expand the radius beyond 270 feet pretty soon. I know they will, obviously. I just hope that they're able to do that sooner rather than later. I think we're proving here that the technology works. So let's just go ahead and get that radius increased. And then the third one, which again I do not believe is a software hurdle. My presumption is that it's more of a regulatory hurdle, is the vehicle not being able to go on a public road whatsoever, even if that public road is literally part of the HEB parking lot or the Costco parking lot. But the simple fact that it's a quote-unquote public road and not a private road, it is just zero chance it's going to go out on that right now. So, which is fine. You just have to keep cognizant of that when you're using this functionality in the Tesla FSD software, is that it cannot go on public roads, and it will not go on public roads. I've used it enough at this point to know it will not do it. And like I said, I need to look at the footage again from tonight, but I know at least one time and probably twice it stopped short by about 10 or 15 yards from where I wanted it to come to. And I believe that was entirely due to the fact that I was standing next to a public road. Not on the public road, but near it. So, but taking those little insignificant things off the table, I mean, my gosh, I think what the footage is going to show is that the car is driving itself. And not just driving itself, but driving itself confidently and in fairly complex environments. I mean, you're not going to have in pretty much any other location that much massive humanity and moving cars as you will in a major grocery store or department store parking lot. Granted, I will acknowledge it's going slow. It's not going... I'll have to check the footage on that as well. In fact, one of the individuals in the parking lot asked me that question, like, well, how fast can it go? And I believe the fastest it can go is 6 miles per hour, but I could be wrong on that. And when I check the footage, that may tell it as well, because I do think that there were some periods of time there where it had a pretty good straight shot with no obstructions, no people, no moving cars, no cars going into or out of their parking spots. So if it was able to get to its top speed while it was on actual Smart Summon, it would have done it in those situations. So my presumption at this point is at 6 miles per hour, but I can check if it's a little faster than that. Obviously, that's another thing that eventually it will need to increase a bit. Maybe not so much in parking lots, because I don't get the sense that going 6 or so miles per hour in a packed parking lot is that big of a deal. I have yet to run back the footage of any of my actual Smart Summon sessions and hear people honking at the Tesla. So I get the sense that it's going the right speed within the parking lot. But as it expands its radius, as it gets on it's able to get on some public roads around parking lots. So we went through a yellow and it turned red right above our head. But again, I've had somebody comment to me on that, and I don't know if this is a Texas thing or even a federal, probably a Texas thing, because most traffic laws are pretty much state by state. But I did have somebody comment back to me. I asked that question before when it did that, and it is legal in Texas that as long as it's yellow as you're going through, even if it turns red, like right above your head, that is legal. So I haven't checked the regs on that, but I'm gonna presume it's true. Further, I think we saw at the very beginning of my drive, there were folks going through a turning lane with a full 3 seconds of having the green light on them. So I'm not even sure they got into the turning lane when it was yellow. I think it may have already been red for some of them, but that obviously is not the example to go by. I think one thing I always reiterate, humans are not the best example always to base traffic laws off of, especially at red lights. But on that one there, I do believe that in the state of Texas, as long as it's yellow as you're in the intersection, you're good to go, even if the light turns red right above your head, which it did. It was turning red right as we were going under, so. But I want to call balls and strikes. So if somebody else believes differently, somebody else that watches this that lives in the state of Texas and has information otherwise, please let me know, because obviously that's something that I would want to get back to Tesla. But my presumption at this point is that that is all good to go in the state of Texas. Anyway, getting back to our current situation here, we're just continuing to matriculate along. Going into a neighborhood here in Atascocita, the Atascocita area. And not very far from my wife's family restaurant / boba shop. and I'm going to get a little bit of dinner. It is about 6 o'clock in the evening right now. My gosh, it is getting dark early now. I forget when daylight savings is supposed to begin or end. I guess it's ending. Is it tonight or tomorrow morning? I need to check on that. But my gosh, it's just 6. It's 6 o'clock, and look at this. It is like pitch black. All right. We are going to be making a left turn here in a couple of 100 feet. Get up to the green light here. Or actually, no, that's right. There you go. Now we don't want to go to the Jiffy Lube. We can go through the Jiffy Lube parking lot, but we do not want to go to the Jiffy Lube. Let's see how we do here. All right, we're going to turn left. Now let's see how it does getting to the... All right, we got a truck coming. I don't know what they're doing. I don't think she knows what she's doing. There she goes. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. Keep going. There you go. We're not going to park in a handicap parking spot. All right. Well, it's not going to park us, but it got us to the point where well, hold on a second. What are you doing? Let's just see what it does now. Oh, okay. So is it gonna try to park? Let's see if it tries to park us at all. Fortunately, it got it. Hey, let's see. Are we gonna park? Hey. All right. Let me check this real quick. Folks, that was perfect. That was the best parking job that the Tesla has. We are in between the white lines perfectly. We're not even at an angle. That was perfect. All right. Well, I will tell you, there was one thing I did differently on the navigation this time. And I want to thank somebody. This is why when we do these videos, this is why I love putting them up on YouTube and X to a vast audience, because I had somebody comment on one of my videos where I was driving with my niece to the restaurant, and we were talking about how it was always trying to go back out of the parking lot. And they had mentioned that, hey, it's probably the same address for everything in here, including the Jiffy Lube. So why not try putting the suite number in there as well? And I will tell you, the last couple of times that I've done that, and I saved it as the address with the suite number, it's done perfectly. It has, when I say perfectly, it has come to this side of the parking lot. Now, this is the first time that it's actually parked me. And not only, it's the first time that it's parked me properly, like not in a handicap spot. But not only that, this is the very first time since I have been on Tesla full self-driving of any version where it's parked me perfectly, where I can literally get out of the Tesla and not have to do a doggone thing to straighten it out or move it up or move it back. Perfect. So I want to thank that individual that commented before. Forgive me, I don't remember your name. Maybe I can go back, do a search function on the comments and see, but whoever that was, if you're watching again, thank you so much, because that worked. Your recommendation worked perfectly. And now look at me. I owe this to you. It's all due to you, sir, ma'am, and to any non-binary, you too. Whoever it was, thank you so much, because it worked. All right, Well, I'm going to go into the restaurant and get me a banh mi, and then we'll get back on the road and go home and see how it does there. All right, talk to y'all soon. Bye-bye. All right, just got done eating my dinner, seeing some of the family. Now it's time to head on back to the casa. Let's go. Let's see how it does taking us back home. Push the button. Leaving the parking lot. There we go. Take a left. Gonna take a right onto Will Clayton. No oncoming traffic. Does well. Gonna take a right here at Aerobic Drive. Let's see, kind of straddled that line there, but that's a very temporary right lane there. As you can see, now we're down to 2 lanes, so no harm, no foul there. Had a very good dinner. Had a fresh banh mi. I all these years, and I still probably don't get the pronunciation correct. And nobody in my family tries to correct me. I think they've probably figured out it's futile. All right, come to a 4-way stop. Good job. Wait our turn. Good job. It is about 6:45 in the evening, and like I said before, it is just pitch black dark out here. And I misspoke before. I said I thought daylight saving was ending pretty soon. I totally forgot it ended the other night. And the reason why I forgot is I was on the road back from Kentucky. We picked up my brother-in-law, who many of you know had neck and spine surgery up in Kentucky. So we went up there and stayed about a week while he was having his surgery and recovering from the surgery. And just about 2 or 3 days ago, he was cleared to start rehab, and he was good with doing his rehab back home here in the Houston area. So we brought him home on Saturday, but obviously we drove straight through, so we were driving into the late wee hours of the night, Saturday night, Sunday morning. So that's why I totally forgot about the daylight savings, because I believe when we got in, it's usually around 1 or 2 a.m. that they do it. We got in right before that, and I crashed. And let's just be honest, whatever the time was on Sunday morning that I was getting up, it didn't matter. I was going to be out, and I was out like a light. So, but yeah, we got him home, and then yesterday we got him admitted to a rehab facility that specializes in physical therapy for neck and spine injuries. And so he'll be there for at least a week, maybe 2. Hopefully not too much longer than 2 weeks. But so yeah, he will do in-facility rehab physical therapy as he's learning how to walk better again, get around on his own. That's to be expected. Anytime they have to saw into your neck and spine, it's going to take you a little while to get everything back in order where you can start walking around. Look at me, I'm talking like I'm a practicing physician here. I have absolutely no clue. I'm just going to assume it takes a while. You know, all those little doodads in your body got to talk to each other again. That's what he's doing right now. He's getting all his doodads back in order that talk to each other in his back and his neck. but he'll be back to good in no time. Like he said, I'll be back to a full 60% in no time. Yeah, that's the life of 40 plus year old construction worker. When they say we're going to get you back up on your feet, like, yeah, I'll be back to 60% in no time. Because basically their life is about just trying to stay in that 60 to 70% range. There is no such thing as 100% for a construction worker. But if they can stay 60 plus above, they're good to go. Kind of like athletes. You know, think about an NFL athlete. If they're on the field enough and they've been enough years in the NFL, there is no such thing as 100%. As long as you can stay 60% or above, you're able to get out on the field. And that's pretty similar to the life of a construction worker. All right, so far this drive is pretty good. As you can tell, I'm talking about everything but the FSD drive. Got a car that wants to get over to the left. They waited a little while longer than they should have. Let's see if they ever made it. I'm looking at, yep, they just made it over. Traffic light we're going through, but we got a green light, so should be good. So yeah, did about 3 or 4 actual smart summon sessions in the HEB parking lot. Always enjoy doing those. Ended up in one full interaction with an HEB customer in the parking lot. And I'm gonna presume, even before I've seen the footage, there were probably some reactions as well. But yeah, I always enjoy doing those. They always prompt conversations, always prompt interest. And it's really the best way to show everyday folks who don't even know much about Tesla, EVs, autonomy, robotics, AI, just to see it in action, see it in the real world. That may be their only time to actually seeing a real live robot operating around them. And I've done, my gosh, at this point I've probably done 50 to 60 of them. And at first it was about testing out the technology and just seeing how for certain folks it really could be advantageous. I mean, I'll just be blunt. Obviously for me, at this point, it's not extremely useful because I'm an able-bodied person. I can walk to my car just as easy and faster in the parking lot. But as I've mentioned before, a couple of reasons I still like to do them, and I still try to do them at least a couple of times a week, is number one, they're the best conversation starters in the parking lot. I'm like that guy in Office Space. I'm a people person, damn it. That's what exactly do you do here? I'm a people person, damn it. But I really do. I enjoy talking to people, and so it prompts conversations. And again, I live in a part of the country that is not exactly the center of EV adoption. I mean, if the country is only at 9% EV adoption, the area of the country I live in Southeast Texas is probably half of that, maybe not even. So it's a good way to prompt conversations about Tesla, like I said, Tesla, EVs, autonomy, robotics, and I enjoy doing that. But secondly, and I've told a few people as they've commented on my videos, there are a lot of folks out there that are not, unfortunately, are not able-bodied, do not have all of their faculties, or maybe going through medical procedures. You know, I had one individual comment on my video that they were going through chemotherapy right now. Bless their heart. And if you're out there and you see this video, just so you know, I'm praying for you. I'm got all the good vibes going your way. I know you commented a couple of times, so I just want to mention that hope everything's going well with that. But yeah, you know, you think about folks going through things like chemotherapy, and you know, we think, well, gosh, it's only 250 feet. Just walk to your doggone car, doofus. Well, okay, but there's a lot of folks that don't have that ability, and a lot of what I do with Tesla full self-driving and with actual Smart Summit and all of the technologies that Tesla is trying to deploy, they're not all for us. The use cases aren't always going to be for somebody just like me. So I'm looking out for those. I'm looking out for my brother-in-law. My brother-in-law could not walk 270 feet in an HEB or a Costco or Sam's Club parking lot right now. So this type of technology would be really helpful for a lot of folks like that. So that's another reason I keep doing it. I will say, I kind of like for Tesla to send out an update on it, because like I said, I don't know about other folks on YouTube or X that are doing it, but I feel like I'm pretty high up there in the leaderboard, if you will. If there was a leaderboard of actual Smart Summit A.S.S sessions, I've got to be pretty high up there. Like I said, it's at least 60 that I've done, and I filmed most of them. They're all out there if you want to go watch them. And I can definitively say at this point, Tesla AI team, send us an update. It's good. It works really, really good. Send us out an updated version. We're ready for it. Increase the radius. Take away the requirement to keep pushing the button all the time. And hopefully, maybe even open up to some public roads. But the real one, if I had one, if you had to narrow it down to one, for me, it would be increase the radius. Like, if I couldn't have any of those three but one, I would say increase the radius. I'll just keep my finger, I'll keep my thumb on the button, and I'll deal with making sure that I'm away from public roads. But if you could just increase the radius. I don't know about other parts of the country, but here in Texas, and especially in the Houston area, 270 feet may not even be half of a parking lot at Costco or Sam's Club. Fortunately, at HEB, 270 feet is right at the limit. So it's pretty good in the HEB parking lot because it's not just ginormous. But the Costco one in Humble, I mean, I want to say from one end to the other, maybe close to 600 or 700 feet. And I'm sure some of y'all in other parts of the country may even have bigger parking lots. And so in those situations, you could have the car summoned from 700 feet away and never even come close to a public road. So I'd love to see that. If there was one, I'd love to see the radius get increased. But whatever it is, I can definitively say, as someone who has likely done more A.S.S sessions, and just so everybody knows, when I say A.S.S, that's the abbreviation for actual Smart Summit. But I have done more of those than probably anybody else in the. Whoa, you got your nose out there a little too much, but we handled it well. Handled it real well. Look at these folks are really wanting to get through that intersection. Just wait your turn. So yeah, I've probably done more of actual smart summon than likely anybody else in the Tesla community, other than A.S. drivers and somebody on the Tesla AI team when they're testing it out in their own facilities. But from a just normal Joe Blow Tesla nerd community, I'm probably, if not the highest, one of the highest on the leaderboard. So like I said, I can say with great confidence, we are ready for an update. It works really, really well. All right, we're slowing down a little bit right here. I don't know exactly why. It slowed down quite a bit, about 10 or 15 miles an hour right there. And I really don't know exactly why. You know, at night, sometimes it's hard to tell whether there was a critter that jumped out of the woods there, especially around here where it's Kingwood, i.e. woods is in our name. So there are constantly critters jumping in and out onto the road. So get that every once in a while. But and it wasn't uncomfortable. It wasn't like it slammed on the brakes. It just slowed way down. It went from like 30, I want to say we were going 37, 38, and it slowed down to the mid-20s. So I'm gonna have to look back at that footage and see if there was any reason for it. But to the naked eye, I didn't see it. Now that being said, I have two eyes, and they're both in the front part of my robotic system. And my Tesla has 8 eyes, and they're all over the place, even behind us. So we have, the Tesla has eyes in the front, the side, and the back. I've got 2, and they only face forward. So I generally defer to the Tesla on stuff like that, especially at night when I know it's not like doing the, what you would call the, you know, the phantom braking that it may do in the sunlight or out on the highway. But I'll check and see. But like I said, on those at night, and especially in this area of Kingwood, I'm pretty good about deferring to Tesla on that one, that it likely saw something and there wasn't anybody right around us, so it was safe to slow down a bit. And yeah, I think the #1 criteria for stuff like that is 0 honks. If there's no honks, nobody around you to honk at you, then go ahead and be a little cautious, even if it's just a squirrel. Yeah, that's another good question somebody asked me before, because it's, you know, I've had videos where it stopped for dogs plenty of times. God, I may be in the double digits now on having dogs run out in front of my Tesla, and it stopped every time. I've had a cat a couple of times. Haven't had a deer yet. Haven't had anything real big. Obviously had people all the time, but yeah, somebody asked me about squirrels and possums and stuff like that, which there's quite a lot of squirrels, quite a lot of possums around here. And I think those are kind of hit or miss. I have seen it slow down for squirrels and possums before, but I've also seen, you know, birds or squirrels be in the middle of the road and it act like nothing is there, and fortunately the squirrels and the birds get out of the way pretty quick. So yeah, I don't know the answer to that one, like how small of a creature is the software attuned to. And especially at night, it's, you know, it's going to be tough to see a squirrel dart out on the road late at night. Which Exhibit A is, unfortunately, there's evidence that almost nobody sees squirrels dart out on the road late at night. Just take a walk along the sidewalk on one of these roads one day, and you'll quickly deduce that people do not see squirrels very well. right. Got about another half mile. We'll take a right down the road that leads into my neighborhood. Almost home. About another mile. And apologies, I know this is the second day in a row that I've done night videos, and you know, I enjoy doing night videos as well, because obviously people drive at night, so you want to see how the FSD is doing during the nighttime. But you know, my presumption is that most people probably like to see the technology working during the day, because they can see more on the video, especially folks that have never experienced riding in a Tesla, or especially if they've never experienced using FSD. So I know it's a little difficult to see some of the functionality late at night. All right, we're squeezing in here, getting in the right turning lane. Great job. Got a protected right. We're still being really cautious right here. I think I know why we're really cautious at that right turn at night. I was speaking about critters jumping out of the woods. That place right there, I don't know why, but that intersection right there, man, they just love to jump out of that corner there. Probably because maybe it's attracted to the lights and the vehicles, and there's a convenience store across the street, so probably a lot of food getting left on the ground. So yeah, I've noticed that FSD at nighttime will take that right turn much more cautiously than a lot of other protected rights. I'm okay with that. They're all God's creatures, and we should strive to allow them to get back to their homes at night, just like we're trying to get back to ours. Good job. There's a big body of water there to the right. We completely avoided that. Well, I shouldn't say completely. We got a little bit of our right wheel well in there, but couldn't avoid that. But avoided the biggest part of it. It's a great job. All right, I'm going to exit out of that. Just take us to the mailbox, and then we'll end it up there. Right. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna pull up over here just to get out of there. There's a car coming up behind me. Let me pull up here. All right, so we did a bunch of good FSD drives, all of it zero intervention. Did some actual smart summon sessions at the HEB. Again, forgive me, I can't remember if it was 3 or 4, but I'll see it when I get the footage. And all of those worked out really well. Had a couple of little nuanced things that I wish it could have done better, but at the end of the day, it got to where I was at, which is what you're asking of it. Especially with all these governors that Tesla has to have on it right now. So yeah, I'll get all of this video footage downloaded from my camera, my GoPro, and get it uploaded and let y'all take a look at it. Hope y'all are having a great evening, and I will talk to y'all again tomorrow. Thanks, everybody. Night, night.